Good morning, I'm Nick Ottmeyer with linkinglewiscounty.com. Here today with Michelle Ledoux, who is the Director of Cornell Cooperative Extension in Lewis County here and does a lot with the maple stuff. And we also have Jake Mosier. Jake's the Maple Producers Association of Lewis County President, and they're here this morning to talk a little bit about Maple Weekend. We have Maple Weekend coming up March 17th and 18th, which is tomorrow and Sunday, and then again on March 24th and 25th. So Jake and Michelle they brought a lot of little demonstrations and stuff here today, and we're going to talk a little bit about Maple Weekend and the maple industry here in Lewis County. So Michelle, I'll let you take it first.
Okay. This is a great weekend to bring your family, and also if you just want to come visit, you can come out. We have a whole group of maple sugar houses that are open here in Lewis County. I encourage you to start out by going to the American Maple Museum. They're open from 7 to 12. They have a great pancake breakfast. Bring your family, enjoy pancake breakfast, tour the Maple Museum, and then go out and visit our sugar houses. Lewis County is really fortunate to have some very modern and then some very traditional sugar houses that are open. You can make a nice circle, visit them, go through. We have some that have horse-drawn sleigh rides, and then we have some that offer you tours through their woods, and they all have samples of different maple products that you can try.
All right. And you brought a lot of maple products here, and Jake, if you wanted to go ahead and say a few things about Maple Weekend coming up and what the producer's role is in it.
Okay, like Michelle said, this is a great experience for people to get out. It's a fun, family-friendly environment, and what it is it's actually a state-sponsored event, but it's broken in by per region. Our region is Lewis County Maple Producers. I'm actually president of 5 counties, so that would be Lewis, Jefferson, Oswego, Oneida, and Herkimer counties. And actually, in each county, we do have participating sugar houses for this event. But what this is, it's just a great way for us producers to be able to teach people our trade. I mean, you know, it's a lot of times there's a lot of nostalgia and mystique behind exactly how syrup is made, and this gives us the opportunity to invite the public in and basically bring them into our family, our maple family, for 2 weekends out of the year.
All right, Michelle, did you want to show us some of the things that you brought today?
Sure, I am very fortunate as I travel around the state and the country to go and promote our maple syrup products and value-added products that we have in Lewis County. And so we're very fortunate. We have some very inventive maple producers here in the county. And one of the things that we have produced here is maple minis, and they are have been developed here by the Mosiers, and so these are our little hard maple candies, and these are the only ones made in the United States, and so they are really good to have, and especially if you have a sore throat. We have obviously some sugar cakes, which is a term here used in the North Country. We have some maple spread, or some people call it maple cream, and this happens to be a blueberry one. We fortunately have some bourbon barrel-aged maple syrup. I brought this from Leindecker's, and this is a really, it's a brand new product, something that maple producers are just getting into. Jake and I were just talking about that it's sort of one of the hot items, you know, that are coming out with the maple syrup industry. So we brought some for Nick to try here this morning. We have some Maple Swix gourmet barista sticks. We developed that also here in Lewis County, and that's from Adirondack Natural. So that's something you could put in your oatmeal, you could try in your coffee, your tea, and that's also from a local maple producer. You could put that in a bourbon, you could try that in your Manhattan. So we have a lot of producers who make spice rubs and pepper rubs. So the garlic, this is a garlic pepper one. And then one of the things that's new is like sparkling tree water, which is basically made out of sap, or we have some people do it from permanate, which is something you can learn about if you come to Maple Weekend. So we have lots of really interesting things. We also offer lots of recipes from Cooperative Extension that the producers will have out at their sugar houses. So we want people to know you just don't use maple syrup for pancakes or your waffles on Sunday morning. You can use it all week long for cooking and baking.
Okay, so you had some samples put up for us here that we'll go ahead and check out. All right, so Michelle was kind enough to bring us some samples here. So this is going to be the bourbon maple. And I think Jake was telling us a little beforehand that this is kind of just aged in a used bourbon barrel.
Yes.
Kind of to absorb some of the flavor.
Yep, that's all.
It doesn't really have bourbon mixed in with it, or outside of the fact that it was in a used bourbon barrel.
Yep, just bourbon residue left
Yes,
in the
so it
barrel.
absorbs it.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so we're going to give this a taste here. That's very good, yes. And you do taste the flavor.
Yes,
Yep.
you do.
Yep.
And this has been very popular with some folks. I have a person in my office who's from the South. She absolutely loves this.
Oh, right. Nice. And then I think you also brought us here some, you said this was this year's maple syrup?
It is.
Yeah.
Can't go and do something
So we
without
have,
this
right.
year's.
It's got a nice color to it. And we'll go ahead and give that a try. Very good. Definitely tasting them back to back, you can definitely taste the bourbon flavor more in the other one now that you
Oh,
taste the
yes.
plain. Yep. No, those are very delicious. Yep. And like you said, you brought your sugar cakes, a little bit of everything. So a lot of these products are available at the sugar houses that make them, or even at the Maple Museum carries a lot of the products as well. So if you happen to be at the pancake breakfast, you can stop into the gift shop at the Maple Museum, where
Right.
there's a lot of maple food items and things like that available.
Right, and I encourage you to buy some stuff right at the sugar houses that you visit. Or if you have any questions or you're looking for something in particular, you can always give Extension a call and we'll send you in the direction of what you're looking for.
Yep, and Lewis County also has the Winter Trail map, so anybody with a smartphone, I would suggest to utilize that because it really simplifies the whole layout of the Lewis County sugar bushes, is what it does.
And did you want to mention the sugar bushes that are
Yes.
participating tomorrow?
We can do that. So you can start right out at the American Maple Museum. It's right in Krogan. And then you can go to Mosier's Maple. That is also in Krogan. And we have Mosier's Maple Ridge Farm at 11 o'clock. We have our tree tapping. We will have a lot of dignitaries there. And the president of the Jefferson County Community College is actually doing our tree tapping. And our Assemblyman Ken Blakenbush will be joining us. And then we have some other folks coming, some FFA kids. Pierce's Sugar Spigot in Krogan. And then Swisser Sweet Maple in Casterland. And then Yancey's Sugar Bush, which is on the Long Pond Road in Krogan, will be also open tomorrow. And then the following weekend, we'll have Sterling Valley Maple.
Okay.
So
the weather might, and some people might be thinking that the weather it hasn't been super cooperative this weekend, or this week so far, leading up into the weekend, and it looks like it'll be a little chilly over the weekend, but you are expecting some of the producers to actually be boiling sap and making some syrup?
Yes. People are going to be, depending on what the sugar house decides to do, there's going to be some sort of maple related event going on for sure. So you might not necessarily see boiling maple sap at one location, but most likely they're going to have some sort of other demonstration, maybe a candy making demonstration, or maybe they'll be able to go out and go on a wagon ride, sleigh ride, and see the woods. I mean, pretty well what we try to do is we want to teach the public, what maple is, and we want to bring them in, and of course we don't want a cold sugar house either. But with that said, I do have to recommend that everybody dress for the weather, okay?
Yes.
I cannot say that more importantly, to dress for the weather. We run into it every year, is that people underdress and they actually, some visitors get cold or whatnot. So I mean, rubber boots or winter boots, highly recommended. Leave the high heels at home. We don't need those in the sugar house. Only reason I say that, Nick, is because, believe it or not, we've had that happen before. Right. But yes, at every place there will be something maple related going on, and what we do is we work with the sugar houses, so we try to get different events at each sugar house to get people to go out and visit the different sugar houses.
Yeah. So, and then the pancake breakfasts at the Maple Museum are going to be Saturday and Sunday, both weekends.
Yes.
And I think you mentioned they start at 7 a.m.?
It goes from 7 to 12.
Okay. And what's the cost on the pancake breakfast?
Actually, okay.
I think it was...
adults are 10.
Okay.
Children from 5 to 12 are $6.
Okay.
And under 5 are free.
All right. So if nothing else, we at least encourage you to come out to the Maple Museum for a great pancake breakfast in the morning, and tour some of the sugar bushes and see what's going on in Lewis County. Maple is a very important industry to Lewis County, so it definitely helps to see support and educate the public a little bit about what maple means to Lewis County. So did you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
If you don't come this weekend, join us next weekend.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in this morning, guys. We really appreciate having you.
Thank you.
Yep.